Aloha, and thank you for taking a minute to share with me today. We'll talk about a thing called St. Valentine's. Now, this Valentine's Day is not just a matter of getting a card or something like that. This is really of a true healer that lived around the second century. He was a magical healer. He chose to heal through the things that we know he called his higher self of the people he was working with. And he talked to them on another level, on a higher level. Can you imagine that? The higher self. And it couldn't be more magnificent than that right there. Meditation, breathing, all the things that we're talking about today, he was talking about it in the second century. So I'd like to get Master Kirael in here and have him talk to you a little bit about some things that, my friends, this thing called St. Valentine's Day. This is a beautiful journey of love and romance and healing. But how many people know about the healing thing? Well, I'll tell you these things, my friend, because my medium, the medium right here, he's got this thing going, and understand this. He's doing what he's doing because he wants you to hear it. So here it comes. St. Valentine's Day was a beautiful journey. But understand this. St. Valentine's Day, 200 years after Master Jesus was on this earth plane, and you can count if you want to, but you don't have to. But understand this. That was the first time that was anything spoken of this Valentine. But understand this. Before this time, there was another fella, Valencio, that was also a healer. And what they did is, you go to your history books and you tie it all up and unknot it out and straighten it up and so on and so forth. You'll understand this. This was the Valentine's Day. This whole journey is about his love for this young lady who was healed from him, but not by touching her. Now, he had touched her before he went into prison. But understand this thing. The rest of this whole journey is what we call today long-distance healing. Long-distance healing today. That's right. Now, if you get this one right here, that's all you got to get. Because you don't have to take a course. You don't have to go Reiki. You don't have to go Senior Soul Healing. You get what I'm saying right here, and you don't ever have to do anything. Because understand this. St. Valentine's knew what he was talking about. He didn't call it long-distance healing. What he did is he'd been to the house with turned out to be his jailer's daughter, but he'd been to this home, and he knew where she was going to be. And what he did is he went to his mind, his mindset, his breathing powers. His breathing powers, he got up to this journey, and he created this physical being of her, and had laid right there in front of him. And he did this whole project by going through her and understand where this thing really begins. It begins in the brain. You can't even believe this, but it's going to be in the brain that starts right now. Epilepsy, that was a horrible disease. They said that you had to get saints to come out to your house and pray over you to get rid of this whole journey. But it didn't work. But now, my friend St. Valentine's, he got this whole journey from his jail cell. And how did he get to jail? Well, I'll tell you how he got to jail, but later on I'll tell you this. But I'll tell you this. He's got this picture of her, and he's in his jail cell, and he's got her right there on the bed. And he goes into her head. If you can imagine, he went into their head, and he put his hands over top of her head, and he went down to what you'd call today the pineal gland, of all the things. And he went into this pineal gland, and he went into this journey, and he searched the brain, and he looked at the left brain and the right brain, and all the other things that the brain, they didn't have didn't call it hippocampus at that time. But understand this, he went to this hippocampus, and he got into this whole journey, and then he went down to the body. He got into this thing right here in the shoulders, and you got the meridians, the Chinese meridians. Now, the Chinese meridians, what did he know about meridians? He didn't. He just saw these lines of energies going down through their body. Remember, this is just a body laying before him. It's not even a real body. It's an etheric body. But understand this. He called it to him, and he spun it around, and he worked on the head, and he brought it back, and he worked on the meridians, and he got the shaking and the quivering to stop.